Hello, and in today's video we're responding to a question from an IT leader, which is we've been struggling to find a senior development engineer for months. Any tips? Any tips?
Lots.
Yeah, you've hit a hot button here, so be warned.
So the first question I would ask you, and you should ask yourself, is what are you actually looking for? So if there genuinely is a skills gap in the team, could you upskill existing team members? Because bearing in mind they've probably been looking 3 or 4, 5 months now, and they still haven't found anyone. So have a look internally. Could you upskill your team? Could you bring in graduates to bolster your junior level team, to release the senior level team?
Yeah.
Could you bring in a short-term resource like a contractor who could knowledge share across and make sure to get everyone else up to speed during that time? But I think it comes down to what you're actually looking for. If you find that you do have to go to open market, are you looking for the golden goose? Because at the moment it's a candidate-driven market, and it has been for such a long time. Also, the new technology that they might be looking for isn't well known and doesn't really exist anymore. So you've got maybe 5 people in the whole of the UK currently learning that technology, so it hasn't replicated across yet. So releasing some of your people, existing people, to go and learn that would be much more valuable than bringing someone else in on occasion.
Yeah, exactly. I would certainly advise you to stand back. Similarly, what was the need for the role in the first place? Now, of course, there could be a completely legitimate, and I say legitimate, it's not for me to judge, but there could be a completely logical reason why that particular skill, that role is needed in your organisation. Equally, however, it could be that, to Juliet's points about trying to find the golden goose, there could be a different way of doing it. A different technology, a change in strategy, a change in project, or so on, that means that you can remove the immediacy, let's say, of trying to find that role, or at least buy you some time. The one thing we didn't mention, I don't think it came through, but I certainly would, one definite thing is not to compromise along the way. If logically you really do need that person, that capability in your team, then explore the other avenues that Juliet started talking about to find that person. One other would be to talk to your partners and see what they have. So it could be if you've got partners, for example, delivering, working with you in your organisation, even suppliers, vendors even, what skill do they have that they'd be able to bring to bear? That way you can bring theoretically, some absolute subject matter expertise from the vendor into your organisation. You'll get the work done, but twin that with what Juliet said about partnering with somebody in the team to bring them up to speed, and you've effectively created that expertise in your group that way, rather than continuing to search.
Yeah.
It might feel that that's quite expensive, and certainly some of the vendors are going to charge an awful lot of money on a day rate to come in. However, if we've been looking for this role, if you've been seeking someone for months and months and months...
How much is it costing you already?
Exactly, and even if you find somebody, you've got recruitment fees to pay, so there is more than one way to answer this question, I think. Don't lose heart. There are definitely ways to do it, and if you'd actually like to have a private conversation with us, we're pleased to do that, and we'll give you some direct tips as well, and some other ideas.
So probably then some 3 key things. First is, you mentioned, don't compromise on what you're hiring, but do make sure you haven't got a grandiose long list, which I think we've talked about in a previous video. Make sure you are looking for something that you really, really do genuinely need. When you understand that, look internally and see if you can do something different, and be really clear what it is you're looking for. And then, is it a reorg, retrain, rethink? Is it looking at your partners and suppliers as well? Yeah.
They were the 4-3 tips at the end.
I did 3.
Anyway. See, I told you there was a hot button on this one.
I could talk for hours on this.
I know, exactly. So, well, hopefully in there are some useful tips for you that help you in your situation, and indeed help other people that might have seen this video. We're continuing to do these leadership series videos on a Friday each week. So if you've got your own question you'd like us to have a go at, please pop a message in the notes below and you may well feature on a future video. But for now, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.